Hello and welcome back to my channel Computer Classes by Rachna. Today we will talk about something which is very important for MS Excel, and that is called as what if analysis. The what if analysis, I'll just show you the option first. It is present in the data tab. The what if analysis is present in the data tab. We have the home tab, insert tab, page layout, formulas, etc. So when we click on the data tab, we move to the right and we get the option of forecasts. Forecast means to see the future or to analyze something for the future. So what if analysis has three parts. When I click on what if analysis, we have the scenario manager, we have the goal seek, and we have the data tables. So right now we will be discussing the first thing, which is scenario manager. The what if analysis is used to handle the questions related to what if for the data. So let's say we have this data. Let's say this data is for the security guards. So this is level 3 maintenance for the security guards. Let's say that the security guards work hours for one security guard is 40, overtime hours is 10 hours. Let's say the PF amount given to security guards who are at level 3 is 500, and the allowance which is given to the security guards is again 500. The wages per hour is rupees 250, and then the total number of guards which are there at level 3, let's say, is 50, and we have the total work hours per guard. We have to calculate that. We have to calculate the total expenditure per guard. We have to calculate the total expenditure of all the guards, and let's say the miscellaneous monthly expenses is rupees 500. So first of all, what we can do is we can change the values. So this column is not actually the cost, it could be the value or cost. So I'm removing this. So we have at level 3 the security guard work hours is 40, the overtime hours for which a security guard works, these are the overtime hours, and that overtime hours is 10. The PF is in rupees, so we can convert this 500, and for this we go to the home tab, and then in this general, instead of general we can put currency, so it shows rupees 500. We can select the currency from here, that what type of currency it is, whether it is rupees, whether it is dollars. So we can select this as rupees. Then we have allowance, again it is in rupees, so we can change it into currency. And then wages per hour, again this would be in rupees, so we can change it into currency. Total number of guards is 50, and the total expenditure for the guards will also be in rupees, so this field again I'm changing into currency. And then the total expenditure of all guards should also be changed to currency, so I'm changing it into currency. Right now we have not started what if analysis, we are just changing that the expenses value should be in currency rather than general. All right, I'm just changing it so that you also know when to change the values to currency and when to keep them normal. And now we can calculate the total expenses to the company. So first of all, we'll be applying certain formulas, to calculate the working hours, total work hours, total expenditure per guard, total expenditure of all the guards. So this is one scenario which is represented at level 3. So we can save this particular set of values at level 3. Then we can assume that there would be some values that would be given for level 2, and there would be some values that would be given for level 1. Let's say that there are 3 levels of security guards, and level 3 scenario is given to you. So we can first of all calculate the values for the blank portions, and after that we can store it as a scenario of level 3. All right, so for this what we will do, first of all we'll calculate the total work hours per guard. So what will be the total number of work hours? As per the common sense, it would be the actual working hours plus the overtime hours. So I can write down equal to apply the formula. Then this is the value for the security guard work hours. So I select B3, then I type plus, and then this is the value for the overtime hours for the guard. So this is B4. So this gives me the total working hours per guard is 50. Then total expenditure per hour. So the total expenditure would be the wages per hour multiplied by the total number of working hours, right? Plus the PF and plus the allowance. Now to find the total expenditure, we know that wages is 250, and we multiply, the symbol of multiply is asterisk, we multiply this with the total number of hours that we have calculated, total work hours per guard, which is B11, and now we get the total wages for the total number of hours, and after that we need to add certain conditions. So this is just giving me B8 into B11, but we need to add the PF amount to it, and we also need to add the allowance to it. So B8 into B11, and then I type plus, and then I will add this PF, again plus, I will add this allowance. So now I get the total expenditure for one guard. So that comes out to be 13,500. Now if one guard expenditure is 13,500, I need to find the total expenditure for all the guards. So that expenditure would be what? That should be equal to, again I will apply the formula, the expenditure per guard, which is B12, again multiply. So for multiply I put asterisk, and then the total number of guards, so which is 50. So this is how I get this B12 into B10. Now you can see when I enter, I get the value 6,75,000 rupees. Now miscellaneous monthly expenses are 5,000. So what would be the total expense for the company? So that would be equal to this miscellaneous expense plus this total expenditure for all the guards. So enter, we get 6,80,000. So at level 3 for the security guards, this is the expense that we have, and this is actually one scenario for level 1. So we can save it as a scenario, one condition set of values and conditions. So for that we will go to data tab. Within the data tab we will move right to forecast group, and we will select what if analysis. We will select scenario manager. When we select scenario manager, there is a pop-up window, a dialog box which appears, and we need to add the name of the scenario. So let's say the name of the scenario is level 3. Since we have to keep this scenario as it is, so we are not actually changing any cells, but let's say when we have another scenario, so what do we have to change? Firstly, we have to change the cell name for level 3. Instead of level 3, it would be the name which could be level 1, level 2 or something like that. So one cell that would change is this, comma. I would select the values that are going to change for another level. So let's say those values would be the PF value, and let's say those value would be the allowance value. Okay, I select these. Now again comma, and then I select this value which is for the number of wages per hour. This could also change, and let's say total number of guards which are used. So total guards which are used for the level of security, that could also change for level 2 and level 1. So I can select this. Okay, so once I have selected the changing cells, and then I select OK. So once I do that, it is showing me the enter the values for each of the changing cells. So since right now we have this level 3 and I want to save this as it is, so I'm not going to change any value. I'm not going to change these values. So this would remain level 3 and the PF would remain 500, the allowance would remain 500, the wages per hour remain 250, and the total number of employees also remain 250. And now I click OK. Alright, now let's say the monthly miscellaneous expense should also change. So I can again edit this scenario, and in the changing cells I can add a comma, and I can again click here for the monthly expense, and then I click OK. So here so it should have one comma here which is not being applied, so comma and then OK. So you can see here that now I have this B15 also, which should change, and which is 5,000 right now. So for level 3 I'm not changing any value and I'm clicking OK. So this is level 3. This level 3 scenario is saved as it is. Now let's say I want to change this scenario to level 2. I want to see what should be there in level 2 and I want to save it. Then I want to see what should be there in level 1 and I want to save it. So for that I click on add. I add another scenario. Let's say the name of the scenario is level 2 and we have already selected the changing cells, which are the cells like A1, which is this, that what should be the level. Then we have the cells like B5, which is PF, then B6, which is the allowance, then B8, which is the wages, then we have B10, which is the total number of guards, and then we have the miscellaneous expenditure, which is B15. So now what is going to happen? Now I click on OK. When I click on OK, what is happening? I need to save this as level 2. So I click level 2. I change to level 2. Let's say for level 2, the PF of the security guard is 700 and the allowance is 1000. So I'm changing the values of the cell here. So this is 1000. Now after this, let's say the wages has been changed to 250 to 350. The wages per hour for the level 2 security guards is 350, and let's say the number of security guards which are required at level 2 is 70. And now you can see that there is one more column value that we need to change, which is 5,000, which was the miscellaneous amount, and let's say it changed to 7,500. And now I click OK. When I click OK, can you see there's new scenario which is level 2. Now you want to see level 2. Right now you can see level 3. So you have selected level 2 and I click on this show button. The moment I click show button, you can see the values have changed. PF has changed to 700, allowance has changed to 1000, wages have changed to 350, and the total work guards have changed to 70, and then you can see the total expenditure is changed automatically. Expenditure of all guards changed. This changed to 7,500 and total expense have changed to 13,51,500 for level 2 security guards. I hope it is clear. Now again I'm adding one more scenario. Let's say level 1. So let's say level 1 have the security guards of more strict level, more level of security, more high wages. So I selected this as level 1. Now in level 1 we already have selected the things or the cells that we have to change, and now I click OK. The moment I click OK, the first thing to be changed is the level number. So level 1, and then it says 700 is the PF that was in level 2. So now let's say the PF changes to 1000 for level 1 guards. So for level 1 guards we have PF. For level 1 guards we have PF changed to 1000, and we have the allowance changed to 1500, and we have the wages per hour changed to 500. Now the wages changed to 500, and let's say the total number of guards which are required in level 1 is 100. And now again there is one more thing, so which is the miscellaneous expense. Let's say for level 1 security guard the miscellaneous expense is 10,000, and now we click OK. Once I click OK, can you see level 1 here? But right now we are shown level 2. So if you want to see the result for level 1, you can click on show. Can you see the changes? So PF has changed, allowance have changed by us, wages have changed by us, and accordingly the number of guards were changed and miscellaneous expenses were changed, and accordingly we have this. So the value is being changed. Now if I click close here, and now when I click to this, you can see the formula remains the same and the values have changed, so we are getting a different result. And you know, with this what if analysis, again I go back here, I go to scenario manager, and I can see the 3 levels. Now since we were started with the level 3, we want to be at the level 3, so we can show level 3 here. Can you see? This is where we started, and now we can generate a summary also. So when we click on summary, it will show me the result of all the levels along with the current level which is selected. So what is the current level right now? Level 3. So it will show the level 3 as the current level, and then it will show all the scenarios. So when I click scenario summary and I click OK, so this is the scenario summary which is generated. So these were the current values, this is the value for level 3, this is the value for level 2, and this is the value for level 1. The only problem that we have is that we need the result here as the total. So let me undo, or the scenario summary is generated in another sheet. So we can go back to our data. This was here. All right, so we can go back here, and what we can do is, yeah, here it was. We can again select what if analysis, we can again select the scenario manager, and all 3 levels are there. When we click on summary, we get the result cells. So what is the actual result cell? This. So when we click on this result cell, it will also show me the result of total expense. So now when I click OK, this is how the scenario summary is shown, that for level 3, which is the current value, it is this. For level 3, 6,80,000, level 2, 13,51,000, and level 1, 27,60,000. So this is the summary for all the scenarios. The current scenario, which is at level 3, at level 2 the values would change and we will get this result. At level 1 the values would change and we will get this result. Thank you so much.